start the timer. If we can try to keep it to 3 minutes, that's really, we want to try to get in as much testimony as possible.
Thank you. Dear co-chairs and members of the committee, my name is Robert Snee, and I'm an attorney living and practicing in Beaverton. As one of the co-founders of Oregonians for Medical Freedom, and on behalf of its thousands of members, I need to express my outrage that the holder of the public office, the chief legal officer of the state, expressly encourages the infringement of the rights of certain Oregonians. Ms. Rosenblum's own website states that her top priority is protecting Oregonians' rights. However, this statement is false and misleading. The Oregon Constitution provides that no law shall be passed restraining the free expression of opinion or restricting the right to speak, write, or print freely on any subject, whatever. However, on March of this year, 24th of this year, our Attorney General joined with other Attorney Generals in a letter sent to the CEOs of Twitter and Facebook claiming, quote, anti-vaxxers are spreading falsehoods and misleading Americans about the safety of coronavirus vaccines and threatening the health of our communities, demanding that social media platforms curtail the dissemination of such information. On one hand, I wish the Attorney General would be more specific in identifying the alleged misinformation, because so far I've seen peer-reviewed studies, statistics directly from the CDC, quotes from the submissions of the manufacturers of the COVID vaccines to the FDA, as well as Oregonians' personal experiences with vaccines, all identified by Facebook fact checkers as containing misinformation. I've submitted written testimony that gives an example of the blatant misrepresentation of facts often seen coming from Facebook's, quote, fact checkers. On the other hand, whether these items are misinformation or inconvenient truths that challenge the approved vaccine narrative, the Oregon Constitution is pretty clear on the right to speak, write, and print freely on any subject, whatever. Just earlier today, the Supreme Court issued an opinion on a case that originally detailed President Trump violated the First Amendment by blocking access to his social media. In his concurring opinion, Justice Thomas noted that a private entity is not ordinarily constrained by the First Amendment, but it is if a government coerces or induces it to take action the government itself would not be permitted to do, such as censor expression of a lawful viewpoint. I also find it ironic that the Attorney General complains about spreading falsehood about the coronavirus vaccines when it took over a month, 2 cease and desist letters, and the threat of litigation on behalf of Oregonians for Medical Freedom against the Oregon Health Authority to get the government to stop falsely stating that the coronavirus vaccines have been approved by the FDA. Even Governor Brown is guilty of posting a tweet when she got her COVID vaccine of falsely stating the vaccines are FDA approved. They are not. There's a legal distinction between FDA approval and authorization for emergency use of unlicensed and unapproved products. Instead of encouraging the silencing of rights of Oregonians to speak on any subject, perhaps the Attorney General's time would be better spent looking at our own state agencies and stopping them from continuing to make deceptive, false, and misleading statements about vaccines. Additionally, Ms. Rosenblum's, yes.
Thank you, sir. I just, this is the end of your, if you wanted to share your written facts you can certainly submit those in written testimony.
I would like to state this in conclusion, that in 1950, President Truman gave a message to Congress. Once the government is committed to the principle of silencing the voice of its opposition, it only has one way to go, and that is down the path of increasingly repressive measures until it becomes a source of terror to all its citizens. It creates a country where everyone lives in fear. I hope the committee takes the Attorney General's actions in consideration when it considers the budget for the Attorney General's office. Thank you.
Okay.